Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today, I'm on Shadowlands beta and I'm going to be discussing Balanced Druid with you guys. This is something I've been wanting to do for a while now, and I got lucky enough to get beta. So this is going to be my first impressions of Balanced Druid, and I'm going to be going over my thoughts on Balanced Druid, pretty much primarily for, I guess, PvP perspective, since that's pretty much what I mostly do in this game. I will check out, of course, like Feral and other specs as well. So, yeah, that's pretty much what this video is going to be about. It's just pretty much my impressions and my thoughts. So let's go ahead and begin. First row, Nature's Balance, I think is pretty much, it's almost kind of similar. It got nerfed a little bit. It's just a little bit less astral power, and that's about really all that's changed about it. Warrior Valoon just got renamed to Starfire. Nothing has been changed really in that department. Force of Nature, not really changed. I kind of wish it would go back to the Mist of Pandaria style, where it would be rooted and cast Wrath. I don't really particularly care for the taunts. Obviously, it's good in PvE, but I do miss the old version of it. Of course, that being my opinion. Next row, nothing has really changed. Don't really need to go over anything in this row. Everything is pretty much kind of similar in this row still. The Infinity row. So this is where stuff has been changed. If you go Pharaoh Infinity, you basically get the talent Mayhem, and if you play Pharaoh, then you basically get their talent, well, not talent, but you get their spell Mayhem, which stuns the targets. Could be good in PvP, but I just don't see it being like top priority over some of the other ones, like Guardian Infinity and Restro Infinity. If you go Guardian Infinity, you get Incapacitating Roar, which basically, as it says, incapacitates the target. Basically, you can use it as a nice little interrupt, I guess, but of course it does break damage on effect. Restoration Infinity, which is pretty much what I mostly use on live, basically will give you Vortex. And I could see this being extremely good for, one, obviously getaways. If you got a bunch of people chasing you, obviously you can do a root beam combo with it. There's just so many nice combos I remember back in the day using this with. So I foresee Restoration Infinity being really good. Another change is also apparently you can't use Swift Mend without using Rejuve on you first. I really honestly don't really like that change, but it's going to take a long time for me to get used to it. So just as ahead of time, you pretty much have to cast Rejuve on yourself, and then you can use Swift Mend. Next row, I believe Mighty Bash was nerfed. I can't really exactly remember that. I think it's like a longer cooldown, I think now, as well as it doesn't last as long. Somebody can correct me on that. It's playing every class. It's really hard to remember exactly everything, but I believe that was nerfed. Mass Entanglement, I believe, has not gotten changed. The new talent that has been added to this row, because Typhoon is no longer on this row, because you get it baseline as Balance, is Heart of the Wild, which is pretty much, I believe, the longest cooldown in the game, but it also lasts extremely long, and it was pretty strong in Mist of Pandaria, I remember it, but I just don't see this being very, I mean, it's good, but I just foresee Mighty Bash or Mass Entanglement used more for PvP. That's just, of course, my opinion. I just don't see this, like, it's so long of a cooldown, you know? I just don't really see myself using it that often. Next row is Soul of the Forest, which is changed to Eclipse's cast time reduction is increased by 5%, and the duration is increased by 3%. Incarnation, which, of course, I should tell you guys, Celestial Alignment and Incarnation are changed. They no longer give you good damage. Well, I mean, not good damage, but, like, they no longer increase your damage. Like, you guys know what I mean. Instead, right now, it increases your haste by 15% and critical strike chance. As well as causes both eclipses to be active, which of course will increase your damage. So you guys kind of get what I mean. It did not. It basically gave you more damage standard. I don't even need to go over it. Star-Lord, I don't think has gotten changed. Stellar Drift increases Starfall's duration by 2 seconds, which Starfall is a little bit better now as far as people have told me. And its damage is increased by 25%. And it allows you to cast while moving, which could be really huge in PvP. And of course, Twin Moons. I feel like these two are going to be really good. Honestly, I'm not really sure which I prefer right now, obviously, because I haven't gotten to test it much. But I could foresee Stellar Drift being incredibly useful in PvP. Stellar Flare, I'm pretty sure it's probably still going to be similar. I don't really particularly probably going to ever use that. Shooting Stars, I believe, was nerfed. I believe everything I think might have been nerfed in this row. So I'm not really sure what will be better. I might go back to Fury of Elune. We'll see how good New Moon is, because in BFA it's not really, in my opinion, that great. And I believe that's everything for the talents. Honor talents did get changed a little bit. Cyclone is obviously out, as you can see. So having that free honor talent, I could see. I personally always mandatory play Moonkin, Aura, and Thorns, so you could probably, for the last one, obviously mess around with maybe Deep Roots, Swarm, and Celestial Guardian. And yeah, so I'm super excited to mess around with talent-wise to see which one will be good. Obviously, you can switch things around, but obviously if there's like no melee, you can switch out Thorns, etc. But you guys get the point. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Hopefully they'll add maybe some more honor talents. That'd be kind of cool. But that's it for the talents, guys. Now let's go over the spellbook. Let's see what you guys get, pretty much. Everything is pretty much the same here. I forgot to tell you guys, Covenant abilities are obviously new to the game. I can't show you guys all of them, unfortunately. I already picked a Covenant. I straight up knew which one I was going to pick from the get-go. I honestly wasn't really impressed with any of the Covenant abilities other than a little general ability, which I will show you guys right now. Basically, this is from the Venthyr, as you can see from the book there. And the reason why I picked this is because of the blink. I'm pretty sure a lot of PvPers are going to pick this, and that's the main reason why I picked it, just because who doesn't want more mobility? Allow me to demonstrate for you guys how this works. You can see there's the green, that's as far as it's going to go, and you cast it, and you teleport. And that is pretty much how the Covenant ability works. I believe there's some talent which makes it instant cast from the Covenant. I haven't personally gone there and looked yet, but as far as I saw on Wowhead at the time, unless it was changed, it could make it instant. I also picked a few soul binds from it, I guess. I think that's what they're called. And some of it, like, makes the target disoriented or something like that. So I don't know. Like I said, this is kind of like my first impressions of Balanced Druid, and I just thought I'd include that because honestly, who would not want more mobility? And plus, just like, speaking of this for other classes, imagine, I saw this the other day, imagine a Fury Warrior with like 2 leaps, and I believe there's like a legendary which I think does something more mobility for them, plus the Door of Shadows, which you just saw. So it's just like, imagine all of these things in PvP, and I believe that's the reason why this is probably going to be the best for PvP. So, and there's a reason why I suggest giving it a shot once this goes live, if it even makes it live, of course. And yeah, so that's pretty much enough talk about that. Everything else is pretty much similar. Oh yeah, except for Cyclone. Cyclone is baseline now. That's which I already gave you an explanation on the honor talents. So that'll be nice to have baseline Cyclone for PvP, and of course PvE, and having that free honor talent, which is you can use now. Second thing is, this is still the Venthyr from the Covenant ability. I haven't yet to test this yet, but basically, apparently what this does is, for 20 seconds, you Druid spellcast, you increase your damage and healing and haste by 2%, stacking. If you spend 1.5 seconds, I dial, the frenzy overcomes you, and consuming 3% of your health per stack. This is kind of like one of those things I was talking about before, which I wasn't really impressed, because in PvP, this could really screw you over. So I don't know if I'll use this a lot, but I found the Door of Shadows to be extremely worth it, and that's the whole reason why I picked this Covenant. There's some other Covenant ones, which was that lets you spam moves for like 16 spells or whatever, and that would be easily interruptible. One is kind of like a Symbiosis, which I looked at it and it wasn't really impressive. And so on and so forth. You guys kind of get the point. So let me show you guys this ability real quick. And then we'll just use our abilities right now. And I'm going to go ahead and stop casting right here and see what happens. Yeah, see, I got stunned, and it took a lot of my health away. And that was like for a split second. Like, yeah, it's pretty terrifying. So, I did see if I want to see if there's like a soul bind I picked, and I want to see if it works with the Door of Shadows. Yeah, see, it disorients the targets when you because I picked that, so that could be pretty useful for PvP as well. All right, but yeah, you guys kind of get the general idea on how Ravenous Frenzy works. I'm gonna be 100% honest. That ability just I just don't really see myself enjoying it and probably using it much. Anyways, that's it for the general druid tab. Let's check out the balance tab now. What's new? Starfall. You basically no longer use it on the ground. For anybody that knows me well, I used to use Starfall to get stealthers out of stealth. And now that that's kind of gone, I'm a little bit I'm mad about that, but I also want Starfall to be good again. So, either way, win-win. I'll have to get used to getting stealthers out of stealth a different way. But allow me to demonstrate how it works for you guys. First things first, just pop it right here. And see, there's this thing that goes around you as soon as you walk around. And that's pretty much how Starfall works now. Calling down the wave of falling stars with an enemy of 40 yards, dealing astral damage, and it also extends the duration of your moonfires and starfires. So, for example, right now, I use Sunfire on the training dummy right now. It's at 20 seconds. Hold on, I need to get some astral power first because I just used it, obviously. Alright, okay, Sunfire is now at 10 seconds. I use it. It extends the duration to 14 seconds. And that's pretty much how Starfall is currently working right now. Alright, let's see what else we got. In Swiftmend, you guys already know, you got to use your Reju first, and then you can use Swiftmend. Otherwise, it won't work, and it also consumes it. Typhoon, I already told you guys, it's baseline. Mastery, of course, has changed now. It no longer increases your damage of Moonfire, Sunfire, Star Surge. What it does now is Solar Eclipse and Nature damage increased by 20%, and Lunar Eclipse is now Arcane damage increased by 20%. And that's pretty much how the Mastery works now. Now let's talk about the Eclipse, which is the main thing I was a little bit freaked out about. So basically, if you use your Starfire twice, you will enter a Eclipse Solar, which reduces the cast time of your Wrath and increases its damage. And then you want to use, of course, Star Surges and during that to extend the duration of any Eclipse you have. And that's pretty much how it works. Now allow me to show you what Wrath does. You cast your 2 Wraths, and you enter a Eclipse Lunar. And for this one, you want to cast Starfire. And of course you want to use your Star Surges to extend the duration of the Eclipse. And that's pretty much Balanced Druid right now. So then you just go back in the other Eclipse, and then you cast Wrath. So basically you just do the opposite of what it says. Of course you maintain your dots. You cast your Star Surge to extend the duration of your Eclipse. As also something I've learned as well is your Star Surge and your Starfall do more damage in the eclipses. So regardless of whatever eclipse you're in, it'll increase the damage of either one. So that's pretty much, I believe, Balanced Druid right now. Like I said, depending on what you do, is the abilities you're going to be using. So, for example, I'm in the Lunar Eclipse, so I just pretty much use Starfires. And then I Star Surge to increase the duration of the Eclipse. And that's it. And then you switch on to the next Eclipse there, and you cast your Wraths. So, I think what I'm probably thinking is haste is maybe the way to go for PvP, because you're going to want to get those to get into Eclipses. On live right now, I pretty much stack Mastery and Versatility for big damage, but if you're going to need to get in the Eclipse systems, which means you're going to have to be hard casting Starfires and Wraths, I think Haste is going to be the way to go. Utility-wise, we're going to be pretty nuts. I'm pretty happy with how we're going to be utility-wise. It's obviously going to depend on a number of factors like legendaries, which druids don't even have yet. They're not even shown. And just a bunch of other things. It's just going to be depending. So, utility-wise, allow me to tell you guys what we have right now. Ursula's Vortex, if you have it. Typhoon, if you, well, obviously you have it. Stampeding Roar, baseline, dash. The Covenant ability, if you pick this Covenant ability. And Thorns, if you talent it. Mass Entanglement, if you talent it. Or Mighty Bash, depending on if you talent it. Thorns. And that's all I can see right now. Utility, oh, obviously, and Cyclone, duh. So imagine all of that in PvP. So I'm pretty happy with how we are utility-wise. Once the PvP realms do come up, I'm going to be doing a lot of PvP testing, and that is my current plan. Hopefully I did not ramble on too much in this video, and hopefully you guys got a general idea on how balanced it is. And I guess that's it for this video. I obviously will do more classes while I can. I would prefer to do the ones I do have some knowledge on live. And I don't want to ramble on anymore. I want to show you guys actually one more time this ability because it is kind of interesting. The Ravenous ability. Ravenous Frenzy. So, let's try this one more time. We're at 9 stacks right now. And then I'm going to stop right here and see what happens. It did 9k damage. Dude, that's just freaking crazy, man. It could be good if for free casting in Battlegrounds, but I just don't see that being, it's not that great for PvP. I just don't see it being that great for PvP, to be honest. That's it for this video, guys. See you guys later.